Hi, buddy. How are you?
Oh my God, what's going on, Charlie? What a ride we're on. I thought this had been over by now. It's like on the edge of your seat every single week.
Isn't it just? It's an amazing time. First of all, before we start, I want to thank you for all the effort you've put into trying to find out the truth about Gregory Hallett and his King John III story. You put a lot of effort and a lot of time into that.
Yeah.
And probably very important to point out that the whole objective of this was to try and establish what was true and what was not. And also to get people to ask the question about the current royal family as to its legitimacy. And the whole idea of this whole journey is to get people to ask the questions to establish the truth. So
Yeah.
I'll thank you on behalf of myself and everybody else that's been watching for the effort that you've put in on our behalf.
Well, you went straight into that, didn't you? I thought you were gonna say how are you, but I know you're a busy guy, Charlie. It's funny you mention that because I've had a lot of people asking me what's going on with it. So I might as well take advantage of this little moment, and I'll say over the last 4 weeks or so, 5 weeks, Greg's been in Scotland. He's been looking for this Stone of Destiny. I couldn't get back to the UK because my crew and everybody else that works with me, Dave Vickers, the camera guy, and we all have moments where we can get into it and film. But considering none of us have really done any paid work for nearly 9 months now, a lot of the people I use have had jobs finally and they've gone off, they've had to earn money. So scheduling conflicts and travel restrictions stopped us from getting to the UK. We did that episode with Huna Flash in Tenerife, which was good. But Greg's been off doing his own thing. But people have really like tied me into him. It's like Greg and me, like we're brothers or something. But we're not. Greg's the narrator of his own journey, his own novel. So my job and our job was to introduce the story to the world. We've always said that we were independent, journalistic type people that got the story out there. And he did very well, man. Between what we put out there, he exposed the truth about the royal family, and they're all on the back foot now. They're all on the run. Nobody's seen them for months. So for everybody watching is asking, why have we not seen Greg and myself together? Greg's just taken off to Scotland. He's been doing that for at least 5 weeks up there. So, and again, he's his own boss. He's not tied in with me contract-wise or filming-wise. So we've done 4 episodes, and now we're going to move into different fields. I feel like, Greg's been introduced, so I'm sure you'll see him again. And he's a good guy. I'm still in touch with him, but he's gone in a different direction. And also all these Zoom calls we were doing, it was too many people just picking them apart, and they're just waiting in the shadows to jump on you and just pick up anything negative they can. So Greg just seemed, I'm all right with it. I can deal with it. But Greg was like, he's tired of it. So anyway, now we've got this big thing in the States going on election-wise. And were you expecting this to happen?
I knew the destination. I just didn't know the journey.
Yeah, me too.
And it's become very, very clear now that, and I said this about 3 months ago, that the mainstream media would be the last ones to be taken down.
They're shameless, Charlie. Absolutely diabolically shameless. I mean, You know what I feel like we're in the middle of right now? It feels like we're in the middle of another one of those massive 9/11, we've blown up the Twin Tower lies, and they're trying to make us all believe the same utter bollocks that they talked about in 2001 when they blew those up. I hope and I pray that now the American and actually everybody worldwide is more wise to how the mainstream media can manipulate you by showing you and just changing a few words. I mean, they've called this election and nobody else has. None of the states have, none of the official bodies have. Yet Joe Biden and all his crew have been announced. Congratulations. And actually, the other people, Charlie, sorry, man, I'm passionate about this.
Yeah.
Is how many worldwide leaders have sent their congratulations? Boris Johnson, what a shameful act to send Biden. Congratulations, Joe and your team. The guy from Israel, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
He sent congratulations. He's not president yet. Yet all these world leaders are now saying, Joe Biden. It's shameful.
Well, the one thing I'm going to put to you, because you spot details, I noticed Boris Johnson, I noticed Benjamin Netanyahu, and I noticed Angela Merkel.
Yeah.
They're three people that I know that were arrested earlier this year. Or
I don't know. I mean, I'd love to think that. I don't have
the question is, who was who was there? Who sent their congratulations? Who are these people? Because we need to be asking questions because at the moment we cannot trust the mainstream media for the truth.
No.
Because all this stuff that's being put out there, I haven't heard from Boris Johnson. I've heard from people in the media.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard from Angela Merkel. I've heard from people in the media. And all this stuff is coming out. And the question is we know the rest of it's a lie. So how much truth is there? But it's had to be done to expose how evil and corrupt they are, because nobody would believe this. If you take certain facts that I know, because I was involved in the quantum financial system, the
Mm-hmm.
quantum voting system, according to the quantum voting system, Donald Trump won by 80%.
Yeah, I'd believe that.
He also had control of both houses.
Yeah.
They also know, because they have hard evidence of these fake ballots that came in from China that have been dished around everywhere. They also know that Adam Schiff had a ridiculous amount, because he had more votes than there was people in the state. And they wonder why we won't pick up on it.
Well, I actually found something there. A friend of mine sent me, called this thing American Thinker, and it's written by a guy called Jay Valentine, and some of the points, we can put the link on this, Charlie, because it was pretty good. The way he put it all together based on facts. Like a 78-year-old early dementia former vice president, he couldn't draw a crowd larger than a dozen people, beat Donald Trump in a fair election. I mean, there was motorcades 50, 60 miles long. They closed down the Brooklyn Bridge with Donald Trump supporters. So this ties me into this mainstream media trying to make us believe that Biden could possibly win this. I mean, I lived in the States for a long time. It's been a big part of my life, back and forth. And I know Americans here that live in Europe that were saying there's no way that many people voted for him. I mean, he had more votes than the popular vote than when Obama was in power.
Correct.
I mean, the numbers are crazy. And the Pennsylvania's, right now he's got 290 electoral votes, right? So he's 20 over. But Pennsylvania are showing signs, that the votes are wrong. And all the votes that came in after 8 p.m. at night shouldn't be counted.
There's going back prior to the election, I was aware of the quantum voting system. I was aware of it. I was unaware of exactly how brilliant it was. First of all, the paper that was used for the official ballots had a watermark in that was not visual to the human eye, which was a quantum watermark that has a serial number for every single ballot paper. It can be tracked from outer space.
Really?
It's smart paper as well. So if you actually ticked one box and changed your mind, within a millisecond, they would notice it's on the system. If any votes got changed, they would know about it. It records information at 1 trillion frames a second. If you tried to vote in New York and San Francisco at the same time on a fake duplicate, it would pick it up instantaneously.
So if this is his plan, and I'm sure you talked about this with a lot of other people, Charlie, so excuse you repeating yourself again. But, if this is the plan, he is going to do this, fantastic, because we need to see him back in there, And the other thing is, these people need to be exposed, because it's got to end. You've got to stop this right now, because it's just going to carry on and go on and on and on. I mean, we can't take another 20 years of having this left-wing lunatics running our lives. Look at our lives now. We're living in science fiction. Yet again, more lockdown restrictions. The Daily Telegraph in the UK published on their front page 2 days ago, saying the statistics that the UK government used to lock England down are not real. Here's the real one. There's a fake one.
Correct.
So
this is all part of the plan to expose the corrupt governments around the world, because most of them are part of the deep state. You have to remember that.
You can feel it.
Most of the governments are linked into the deep state, and so they're causing the chaos, which is exactly what they're doing. And Donald Trump will expose them. Now, when we get through this, Donald Trump will move away from maritime and admiralty law into constitutional common law. Mm-hmm. That's where we'll move. Now, when that happens, suddenly the penny will drop that the current governments will no longer have a job, because their job is subject to maritime law and admiralty law.
Yeah.
When we go into the new world of constitutional and common law, it'll be on the people to choose their own government.
Yeah.
Now, based on what we've seen, and when we learn even more about what's gone on, we won't be looking in that swamp of politicians for leaders. We'll be looking to retired businessmen and women who are honourable and who can represent us.
Yeah.
So anybody that looks back in the swamp for a good politician should go and see a brain surgeon first.
Well, yeah, exactly. Nobody wants the old system anyway, Charlie. I mean,
no.
It's people in their 40s and 50s now that realize the opportunity that we have to change the way that the entire planet, we're not going to have this opportunity again. So we've got to, I like this expression, hold the line, stand fast, stand hard, hold the line, don't give up, keep the fight up. Because every day, if you're just an individual person, it is pretty hard to stay focused and keep fighting it. When somebody tells you to put your mask on, you got to say, no, I'm not listening to you, because what you're talking is rubbish. You haven't done any research. You watch the BBC, you watch CNN. I've done 5,000 hours worth of independent research from scientists and experts, and I can talk about this as now a semi-expert. All you do is turn the TV on.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We need to stop it for all our kids and our grandkids.
Yeah. Well, look, you and I both know that you know Justin personally, as I do. Justin doesn't watch television. He has an iPad.
Yeah.
And most of the new generation coming up don't watch television, certainly don't read newspapers.
No.
It's only the only people that are watching television and reading newspapers nowadays of the late teens and early 20s are political students.
Mm-hmm.
Who are also contaminated because it's all left wing, and they're part of the problem. So things will change, and this is probably the dagger that will finish them off. I think they would die naturally. The BBC, as an example, the new generation don't use the BBC and don't even relate to it. It's completely alien to them.
Yeah.
So all this chit chat about the license fee and all that. The BBC will fail to exist very, very shortly because they have no place, and they'll be exposed for being so biased that everybody's known, and not just biased, that it's basically a paedophile organisation. I mean, it's full of them, top to bottom.
Yeah, you think about what they got. I watched an old clip of Top of the Pops from the 70s, and there was a girl on there. Jimmy Savile was standing next to a girl, and he was grabbing her while he was talking on the air, and the girl was jumping around like she was being electrocuted. 30 years later, she's come out and said, that day he sexually assaulted me live on television. I told the staff of the BBC, and they just said, oh, that's Jimmy.
Yeah, that's correct.
Nobody had the confrontational true grit to get all this public. So I'm very happy that there are people like us out there, Charlie, who have the balls to say this.
I will vouch for the fact that I was involved in going to the BBC at Top of the Pops in the early 80s. And because of my connections with people, and there was many, many times when girls wanted to come with me on Top of the Pops, and I said, look, this is going to happen on Top of the Pops. They're probably going to want to sleep with you, even though they're dirty old men. I won't name names, but there was a number of them there that were not correct. But at the time, a lot of these girls were more than willing, even though they knew that they were going into this sort of environment. And of course, 30, 40 years on, they're going, well, oh, this was terrible. At the time, I was actually there and saw firsthand that they were willing partners. Some weren't. Some were not. I will give you that, definitely. But there was an awful lot that went there knowing what was going to happen. But you're absolutely right. There was no way you could ever complain about it anyway,
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have taken you seriously. If anything, they'd just ban you from coming. And that's not what they wanted.
No. And for our American, or your American viewers, Top of the Pops was a TV show that lasted for 20, 30 years in England. It used to be on every Thursday. And it was, you know, the top 30 songs in the charts. It stopped. I don't know if they still have it, but it was riddled with pedophiles, and now it's come out, you know, these people. So they're talking about, you know, we've been talking about mass arrests, Charlie, for 6, 8, 9 months now, the 10 days of darkness and the internet going off. But surely with the urgency involved in this now, when he's up against the clock as far as the inauguration day, we'd like to see these mass arrests start and these indictments open, these sealed indictments. How are you feeling about that? Are you feeling that's going to hit?
I know that there has been a huge amount of arrests already. And the reason I know that is because that we've had communication with captains of planes that have been transporting them from Fort Lauderdale into Guantanamo Bay. Wow. So we know there's been an awful lot of arrests. But I was told very, very clearly that they wouldn't become public knowledge until March of next year. However, I've recently been told that there will be a number of significant arrests due to what's happened right now that will be made public.
Yeah.
So I would expect this week the arrests to do with mainstream media, owners, editors, journalists,
personalities, people on the TV, the faces.
Yep. I would imagine there'll be a number of arrests, and they'll be public this week.
I sincerely hope so, because now is the time. You know, I'm shocked at what I see. You know, from my little corner of the world, I was very enthusiastic about the rallies and all of the people and the support that he was getting. So that on the election night, I woke up periodically during the night and checked my phone, and then I was like, "Hang on a second, what? These numbers can't be right." You know, it's I mean, you know, you want to use swear words, or you want to get aggressive, you want to email somebody, and then when you meet people who believe it, say, "Oh yeah, I just believe," you know. I have a Swedish friend. He says, "Yeah, I saw it on television. You know, I saw the numbers. Reuters reported it, and they said, you know, Joe Biden's winning." I was like, how can you not see through it? Sometimes I don't understand. Are they watching things through completely different eyes? They don't see it. It's like we have special X-ray glasses on and we can see the truth.
They just don't question it. And I was absolutely shocked that I pointed out to a number of people that Joe Biden had more votes than there was people in the state. And they went, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and dead people.
Dead people, yeah. Everything. But the fact that when you told them, they said, well, how do you not think there's something wrong when he gets more votes than there are actually registered voters? And that's without the Trump voters. He had more votes than there was people in the state. And you go,
well, Nevada's another good one. I was looking down my list here because a lot of people go to Nevada because of tax reasons. They register themselves an apartment. They'll call it a condo there. So they go in from California into the condo. So they're gonna throw all these back out from Nevada. In Wisconsin, there's 20,000 mysterious votes. And then who was the guy that turned up in a Ferrari in the middle of the night? Who was that?
I don't know, but it just shows you, doesn't it?
There was some famous guy. There was a truck,
that's
like
right,
a van,
truck
and then a Chrysler 300, and a guy in a Ferrari with massive boxes of Biden votes.
Yeah,
and, you know, nobody thought that was suspicious either. I mean,
the truth is coming out now, and this is all part of the plan. And I was told at the start to trust the plan, and I still trust the plan.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely amazing to sit back and watch it. And I'm really enjoying it because, I had to deal with the panic of so many people that I know that said, Charlie, but Biden's got in. I've gone, where are you getting your information from? They said, well, is it on the telly? I've gone, how many times have I told you not to watch the telly?
Throw it out the window.
Why are you coming to me with information off the telly when I've told you not to watch it?
Yeah.
Why don't you do your research? Yeah, but I was watching the telly. I go, no. That's like looking down the toilet for gold. It's nothing down there, mate. It's just shit.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it's an interesting time for me now because I'm so behind on my film stuff. We had 2 films that we were going to do. It looks like we're going to get them finally together now. But I do need Biden to not be president, because one of the films I'm doing is about how Hillary Clinton fabricated the evidence in Libya and sent in the wrong information to start the war. So it's a story about a team of mercenaries that get hired to go and find 160 tons of gold before ISIS gets their hand on it. So I'll have to rechange the script if he gets it.
You'll be fine with that. I can assure you that there's no chance of Biden getting in. But I was going to say, if you need any help in the film industry, of course, Hunter Biden owns Pornhub.
Oh, is that his? I didn't know that. Is that really his? No. Actually, you know, Charlie, I actually do need help because of travel restrictions, I can't get the normal crew. So guys, if there's anybody out there and you've got film industry, whether it's makeup or lighting or electrical work, and you're in Spain or you can get here, hit me up on social media. I didn't mean to hijack.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No problem at all.
Because I still have some openings for some good crew facilities, and if you've got any experience in that, and even as far as if you think you've got some acting skills, if you've got a little tape, you could send it, because trying to get people, a lot of the people I was going to use from the UK, there's one from Australia, one from Canada. I had the special effects makeup artist coming in from Canada who can't do it. So yeah, find me on social media, send me a little message, and then we'll go from there. But when am I going to see you then? You're never out anymore now. You're always doing videos.
Look, I'm up at 4 o'clock most mornings editing and getting stuff done, and I rarely get to bed before midnight.
I imagine that. I haven't seen you for a few weeks because I know you've been busy, but.
Well, you know, because I got taken down off every platform, all 4 YouTube channels were taken down. Instagram was taken down. Facebook was taken down.
Everything,
on a positive, what?
People have been texting me saying, "Where's Charlie?" I think he's on BitTube. I've been sending your link out. I've been looking actually in all of this. I've only had one video taken down. It's the one where we're all talking in the villa.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
But we set up our own platform now. I've got the drcharlieward.com website.
Oh, I've seen it. I have been watching some of your stuff.
Today we passed 2 million followers, so that's pretty subscribers. So that's pretty good.
It's amazing, isn't it? You think you can just switch on the computer and reach out to millions of people around the world, all getting that positive message out. I mean, from the start, the amount of positive support messages we get, it's overwhelming. And if there's anybody listening and say, "Well, you bastard, you didn't answer me," I can't get to them all. And social media, I didn't have any of it before we started all this, but we continue to.
I thought you were on Grindr.
No, that was before, Charlie. I told you that in confidence. We continue our plans, and we're planning a new documentary. David Vicker and myself have been talking about what to do, and we're talking about doing there's quite a lot of good paranormal stories in this area, Charlie, because of the history between Cadiz, the Spanish Armada, the Battle of Trafalgar is just up the road. So we're in the middle of doing some research now and background about continuing our 20 to 30 minute documentary series, The Digital Warriors, about doing some good, I wouldn't say ghost stories, but legends of Andalusia is the sort of concept we're talking about. And we've been putting that in. And I had a conversation with Netflix last week. It was quite interesting, because they wanted to re-edit the Hidden King series and make it into a doco movie. And I said, well, you could do that, but I don't know if the French misunderstood it or didn't understand, but I said, listen, will you just send me an email? If you're interested in doing something like that on Netflix, yes, but I will not change it and make it something it isn't. The integrity has to stand for the message that was put through. Because what they want to do is they always try to manipulate and change it. We put some explosions and make a kidnapping. I said, no, bullshit. I said, It is what it is. I'll change some of it, but I will not change the integrity and the message that is held within those episodes. And I didn't hear from them again, which I kind of expected. But Charlie, let's have a drink soon. I'll pop down and catch up.
Definitely. Always good to talk to you, buddy.
You, mate. Well done. I love what you're doing. Keep it up.
Cheers, mate.
Let's keep getting the truth out, and fingers crossed everything blows over and we get this done as quickly as possible,
We will.
Hello everyone. Charlie Ward has finally got a new website. It's called drcharlieward.com. All of his videos, new and old, will be added there for you to watch for free. Add your email address to subscribe to Charlie's newsletter for regular updates and to stay in touch. Alright, Spanish version. Hola a todos. Charlie Ward tiene por fin una nueva página web, www.drcharliewards.com. Allí encontrarás todos sus vídeos, nuevos y viejos, para que los puedas ver gratis. Apunta tu email y suscríbete a la newsletter de Charlie para recibir actualizaciones regulares.